What up, dogs? Kabal back again. Heavy Ghetto, the vlog version, number two. Number two, yo. Ironically, this whole thing kind of started with number twos because I was reading my friend John Osiris's blog, as you learned in the last episode, and every day I would look forward to having my regular bowel movement at work around the same time. And that's what I would do, because in my work, where I was at the time, I could get free Wi-Fi, and I would read A Hero's Call while doing my duty. It was my duty while I did my duty. So, yeah, that's how the whole thing started. And when I wrote my first episode, or my first post, for my blog, entitled A Hero's Call, which was the name of that post, I didn't even really know what my blog was going to be about. I just knew I wanted to make a blog and that I wanted to start writing and using that as a creative outlet. So I've always loved creative writing. So that first post, I just kind of explained why I was doing it, but there was really no rhyme or reason as to where it was going to go, per se. So the next day I sat down to write. I didn't really know what I was going to do still or anything, so I just, started writing something, and I'm going to read you that excerpt, or part of it for now. It was entitled Music Soothes the Savage Beast. For as long as I can remember now, music has always been an integral and important part of my life, even more so than art, which is shocking for people to hear. Granted, I was born with artistic talent and could color inside the lines by age 2, according to my mother. Also according to my mother, she could bring me anywhere in public and I would be a perfectly behaved little gentleman if she had some paper and a pen with her. And, I can vaguely have memories of that, being in restaurants and stuff, and even if she didn't have paper, if she just had a pen, hook me up with a napkin, I was good to go, you know what I mean? And as far as coloring inside the lines by age 2, I can't remember that, but my mom's always told me that, so they kind of sort of saw then that there was something in me. And there's a cute little picture here of me holding some artwork up. You got to go to the blog if you want to see that, which is kabal73.blogspot.ca. If you didn't already know, if you're watching this video, guaranteed you probably know where the blog is anyway, but if not, there's links. Check it out. So, why is music more important to me? I'm not quite sure. To try and figure this mystery out, I have to ask myself that very question. Both are expressive and creative art forms, respectively. However, I do not think I can express myself as much through canvas as I can through song. When I'm working on an elaborate piece of art, I lose interest after an hour or two. When creating a song, I can haul ass for 6 hours plus, until the point of having a headache from staring at the laptop for so long. So if you didn't know, I make my music on my computer. So to touch on that, yeah, I've always loved art. And I didn't have the patience with it so much, I think, when I was younger, because I would start something, and like I said, after an hour, I would start to lose interest, and a lot of the times with art, when I had an idea, I was so inspired to start it at the time, that when I started losing interest in it, it's hard for me to just put it down and leave it, and then go back to it again. So instead, I would just rush to get it finished, and then you could clearly see, like, oh, this part's great detail, and then just blah. And I was into comics a lot too, like making comic strips, and even with those, it was kind of the same way. Like, you'd see the panels would start off like heavy duty detail, and instead of me just saying, okay, I need to put this down and come back to it, I would just half-ass it and rush through it. So by the end of it, it's like the artwork doesn't even look the same from the first panel in comparison to the last panel. Now with music, when I start something, I can't ever remember a time where, like, say I started writing lyrics and just stopped halfway through, unless it was like, by forces out of my control where I had no choice. But majority of the time, if I'm writing something, I sit down and I write it till I'm done. Back when I first started getting into beat making and stuff, way back, like, same thing. I couldn't just like dabble into it. It was like I had to make an entire song. Cool, I got a beat, kind of thing. When I started producing more than just beats, getting into making music on the computer, really getting into production, then it was like I mentioned there, where for 6 hours straight, yeah, I can sit down and boom. And it's the same thing. It's like with my music, as where it is like with my art, I can't put it down if it's unfinished. I have to sit down and I have to get the song done in one shot, whether it takes me a couple hours, it takes me 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever. I have to sit down and get it done all in one shebang, shaboom. So, and the thing is, I don't get bored with it. As where, like, with art, like I said, I would start rushing it after a little while. And that, with music, I'm just, by like hour 6, I'm like just as into it, as involved as I was like right in the first minute of hour 1. And so I think that's kind of where I'm saying my passions and my love are more so in music than they are in art, just because I can dedicate myself to it more, feel more attached to it, I guess, per se. I've always been into art and loved cartooning and tattooing, and I'm getting into sculpting now and stuff, which I'm not even going to get into because I'm enjoying that more than any other artistic medium I've ever had, besides for music. But I don't know, I've never felt like truly like just 100% passionate about it, I guess, where like all I want to do is just art. I think I don't know, maybe I have too many interests or hobbies or talents or whatever the hell you want to call them to just focus on that. And I think because like I said, I've just had that love for music more. So I'm just trying to explain to you why this post, why I'm talking about the things I did, about how music is more important to me than art, even though most people know me more so as an artist than they do a musician. So, anyhow, my love for music spans back to my days in diapers. I can still clearly remember watching my mom do yoga while she listened to the Beatles. I was around 2 to 3 years old and a very rambunctious child, but when I heard those magical notes, they almost put me in a paralyzed trance-like state. They say music soothes the savage beast, and I believed that to be true, until a neighborhood friend of mine played a record for me at the tender age of 4 that would change my life forever. And I got another picture of me here as a little kid with my mom, and another little one of me there listening to music with the big 70s headphones. So yeah, I can still clearly remember sitting. My mom was in the bedroom, I think on the floor doing her yoga, and I was like sitting up on the bed playing, and she had the little radio in the bedroom at the time, Beatles on, and it was like my earliest memory of music, I think. I don't really remember like lullabies or kid songs or like the theme song from Sesame Street or television show or something like that. It was the Beatles, really my first earliest memory of music. Probably why to this day they're one of my all-time favorite bands still. I always feel very connected to my family when I listen to them, even if I'm not around my family, my mom especially. So that was pretty much the gist of that first post. Like I said, I didn't even know what I was gonna say when I started putting words down, and everything just kind of unfolded, and that's how my blog kind of turned into this story of the involvement of music in my life, because I made this realization of how music really is the most important thing in my life, and the one thing I feel the most attached to, aside from physical beings and people. But as far as like, I don't know, I can't really call it an inanimate object. What do you call music really? Is it an entity? Like, it's it's just an incredible thing, really. So, I guess to sum it up, I was gonna, maybe dabble into the next post, where I had mentioned this neighborhood friend playing me a record. But I'm looking at that post now, and it's got quite a bit of content to it. And I'm like about 10 minutes here, so I think I'm going to wrap this up for number 2. I was trying to get this done last week. Things just got a little busy for me. I was trying to do a bi-weekly thing. And I had geared to do it last Friday, but just stuff got out of control. I didn't even end up getting to do a blog post Friday or Monday, so I've posted a blog today, and that's why I'm doing this today as well, because I want to get a double post up just to make up for lost time. Lost blog posts, if you will. So I'm going to try to stick with the bi-weekly, but I'm really going to try to push this to be a weekly thing if I can, because, it's really not that hard for me to sit down and hit record and talk for 10 minutes. It kind of is. It's sort of strange talking to yourself with nobody around, although I feel like I'm talking to you all. It's still... I'm just getting used to it and kind of getting in the swing of it. So again, any feedback's always appreciated. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week, hopefully. If not, a week after for sure. Stay gold.